What if I told you the witch hunts weren't really about witches or witchcraft? They were about silencing the wise women, the healers, the ones who held feminine power and goddess wisdom, and that's what made them dangerous. From the European Inquisitions to Salem, Massachusetts, they tried to erase her. The divine feminine, Sophia herself, the goddess from creation. They rewrote her quest for wisdom as a sin. They turned healers into heretics and made you forget your own power. But here's what they don't want you to know. You're descended from her. Her power still flows in your veins. And this Samhain, this all-hallowed eve of Halloween, as the veil thins, it's time to reclaim what was stolen. Oh, today we're going to show you exactly why the witches were silenced, how the sacred feminine was erased from history, but most importantly, how you can claim your power back.
Welcome to a new paradigm, a new way of being, free from shame, self-limitation, or cultural programming. Welcome to a new you, a new world full of endless possibilities. Welcome to your Tantric awakening.
Welcome to the Tantric Awakening podcast. My name is Andre Knight.
And I'm Kendall Rose.
And today we're going to light a candle this All Hallows Eve for the wise ones, the ones who were silenced. Samhain, better known as Halloween, is when the veil between worlds is the thinnest, and we can hear the echoes, the voices of our ancestors, whispering their wisdom and their memories to us and through us. So we're going to pose the question today, what if the witch hunts weren't even really about witches or witchcraft for the most part? What if they were about silencing powerful women? Because certainly there has been witches throughout history, but we know from statistics less than 5% of those who went on trial actually had anything to do with witchcraft or even herbology, midwifery, any of the healing arts. Most of them were women who owned property. Many of them were younger women, somebody's affairs that they wanted to get rid of the evidence of. And there were rough times in history to be a woman, because if you said yes, you were promiscuous and you were damned. And if you said no, you were damned. Women that went through menopause were the other victims, the young and the old.
Mm-hmm.
So what if it was power that they were really waging a war of? And what was it really that they were so afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, it poses a really big question, and I think it still echoes through time, even into the present day, of what does it mean to be in your power? What does it mean to be a woman in your power, especially nowadays? I feel the archetype of a witch has, depending on who is perceiving that name, what is a witch? It comes with, different stories and different beliefs, whether it's something revered or something feared. I think there's a spectrum, and I definitely am aware of that spectrum, especially, my own personal journey of exploring what does it mean to be a witch, especially with this, I can think about when I was little and I decided to be a witch for Halloween, not fully knowing what a witch was. I did know that I resonated with the wicked witch, resonated with the green witch. And I painted myself green once. And so, yeah, there's so many layers to what is a witch and what does it mean to be in your power.
Well, what was it about that green witch that really attracted you, drew you? What did you feel?
I could speak into just the magic of it all. When I was a child, I don't fully remember, if I'm being honest with you, and listeners, like, I don't fully remember what allured me so much about her. But I can say as an adult, what has allured me and awakened in me, and just watching this, like, the Wicked movie that came out, I think in the last year. What really moves me is her conviction to speak her truth, no matter what circumstances she's been brought. She knows her power, and she does not try to be anything but herself. And in her uniqueness, she embraces who she is, and she doesn't need to hide. And I love that about her. Like, she's willing and was willing to be alone and stand alone in her convictions.
Well, it's interesting because just like as portrayed in the movie Wicked, the whole idea of the wicked witch was really perpetuated by those in power whose power structures wise women and wise men threatened, really.
Yeah.
The word witch comes to us from Old England, Wicca, meaning wise one, or Witan, which means to know. So these were the clever folk. These were the people who knew things that others didn't. And, that's why often, also there's the ties to herbology, to medicine, to healing, to being a midwife.
Yeah.
They were all of these things and more. And because they understood things on a deeper level and often on an energetic level,
Yeah.
Like we spoke about in the last episode, the power hungry who are posing as leaders, they could see right through them. And that's what made them a threat.
Yeah.
They didn't bow to the power structures, whether it was, societal, religious, or even a lot of them, some disobeyed their husbands, and that's how they ended up on the witch trials. Some refused to take a husband and wanted to be independent.
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially using your voice and choosing your own autonomy was considered a threat. And it's wild too, but I feel like that's still a modern day revelation of what does it mean to reclaim your power, to use your voice and be unapologetic in that. I feel like that is the era of the wild feminine that I call forward in women. It's just, don't domesticate yourself. You don't need to. Society does enough of that. Patriarchal, systemic, oppressive matrix systems, dogmatic systems try to oppress the collective, but you have a choice. So you get to rise and make a choice. And I'm really grateful that I found my voice and my rhythm, my intuition at the core of it. And I just invite the listeners out there to lean into, like, what does it mean to know your voice, to know your wild soul, unapologetically so, because it's your birthright. It's all our birthright. And I'm really, really grateful for that. And even just as I'm reflecting on, you asked that question about the witch and the green witch. Since I was little, speaking of midwifery, like when I was in kindergarten, I remember being asked by the teacher, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said I wanted to be an OBGYN. And now that I reflect back on it, I'm like, man, like, I was obsessed, Andre, about birth. It's almost like I'd known this space before. So likely maybe I was a midwife in a past life, somehow was very close to birth. But I feel like a witch, and why these trials happened in often gruesome ways, was because they reconnect people to their humanity and the reality of we're all from the earth. We all come from something so much bigger than ourselves, right? It's cosmic, it's love, it's divine love. And when you try to put it in a box, people are not, they're attached to their ideas of what something is. It lends itself to kind of fear, right? And needing to control others, which is what ended up happening. But the core, the wild feminine, is not here to be controlled. The wild dark feminine is even another aspect of that, is here to be expressed, which is an invitation. Honestly, it's an invitation for the collective to embrace the shadow sides of their psyche, which can be terrifying, can really reveal parts of ourselves that we've been afraid to just allow to be seen in. But it's all worth it. And if you're a witchy wild one here to unpack that, we're right there with you. It's a journey. It's a journey of undomesticating, unlearning, and reclaiming your ancestry. And like, I love how you brought that up too at the beginning of like calling upon and reflecting and giving honor to all the witches that have come before us. You know, even my past self. Like I'm grateful that I came into this lifetime. You know, there was at the core, I feel, of being a witch, it's devotion. It's a loyalty. It's like it's a returning. You return to a ritual, which is a sacred, practice, like anything like you do in a day, like brushing your teeth or taking a shower, right? It's a ritual. It's like communion. To me, being a witch is a communal expression of presence. Like when you can commune with your hands, or when you stop and smell the roses,
Well, it's really being one with nature, being one with the elements.
Yeah.
I've once heard it said that every time you use magic, you put more magic back into the world.
Yeah. I love that.
Symbiotic.
Well, what is magic? Like, what would you say magic is to you?
Magic is the greater understanding when you finally realize that things don't happen to you.
Yeah.
But that you get a say. You are a co-author in this script.
Love that.
So it doesn't matter if you work with candles or if you work with sigils or runes or, what kind of magic you're drawn to. Like, the prop is there to get you into a particular mental state. And once you begin to believe that magic is possible, and this is what they don't want you to know. Yeah. Once you get to a mental state where you believe magic is possible, it becomes possible.
I love that.
And this is what these clever folk knew. They knew there was no separation between you and nature. You are one.
Yeah. I love that so much.
So the power has always been there. It's not that they had powers that others didn't. The power is all around you, always. Star Wars was right about the Force. It's just that we are usually not tuned into it.
Yeah.
And that's what these people could do, is they could tune into that power. And if you are an authority trying to basically retain control, the last thing you want is people coming into their power.
Yeah.
Because powerful people are difficult to control. Wise people are difficult to control. Why does every authoritarian regime tackle the media, the libraries, the books first?
Yeah.
Right? It's a war on knowledge. So wisdom is the scariest thing if you're trying to maintain control. Going all the way back even to the story of Sophia.
Yes. Yeah.
She literally represents wisdom. Her name represents wisdom. And this was the first aspect of Source that wanted to experience existence outside of Source, to see what it was like to exist outside of Source. And she was the first, according to legend, to take physical form.
Yeah.
Light condensing and becoming physical form.
Absolutely.
Why? She was driven by curiosity. She was seeking experience. She was seeking wisdom. Doesn't that sound like a modern day Tantrica or a modern day witch?
Speaking my language.
But they made wisdom or seeking wisdom a sin, just like in the Garden of Eden. Remember, it wasn't the nudity. It says they were naked and unashamed. It was eating the fruit from the tree of knowledge. That was the sin. Since when is knowledge a sin? Since when is wisdom a sin? Right. Do you see kind of the ongoing
100%.
Ongoing theme? You don't need to know for yourself. You don't need to dig deep. Just accept everything we're telling you.
I used to be that way in ways, especially in the Christian world. Just accepting, and then, parts when you start critically thinking and challenging yourself and growing and having experiences. Yeah. I think there comes moments in people's lives where they get to choose, right? And I knew I wanted to explore more than what I was, accepting, I guess, and allowing. I wanted to explore beyond the veil of my own, I don't know, the word demise comes up, but my own like box. I wanted to go beyond the cage. And what drove me when I think about my early years and like consciously, like the journey of becoming, right, and arriving into and remembering, oh, I'm a witch. It started slowly, but it was like this burn of like connecting to my womb. And I love that you brought up Sophia, because I feel like I started to feel that energy within me, like awaken when I danced in churches, for example, where I was like, there's so much more. And this, like, I can't be contained in this body. Like, there's so much more. And I love, we've talked about this, and you've helped me so much in understanding that we are souls and we're all so connected, so intertwined, that like I find it so fascinating that, and this is what I love about astrology too, it's like each of us chooses to incarnate at the moment we do, and it expresses a version of the universe, and the universe is getting to know itself through your eyes. And I find that so fascinating and riveting. And it fascinates me because part of my remembering journey has been studying the stars and studying the soul. And it's just so beautiful that we all choose to incarnate in the expression we desire. And that's just, it's riveting to me. To me, that's woo-woo, but in the best way. It's so, it makes me realize how little I really know. And that humbles me so much. Realizing there's so much to this cosmic plane, the universe, universes out there that I'm not fully aware of, but I just know. It's like a gnosis. You just know. And the conviction, I'll say as well, has been the red thread through this whole journey of embodiment, is in being a witch or identifying with witchy activities. Embodiment is the whole embodied truth. Like, the more I became in my body and the more I connected to things like womb work, womb priestess work, everything started to, awaken. And I can attest to when I was in kindergarten being like, yeah, I'm connected to the womb. I'm interested in birth. And so I love that even now at 32, I can reflect back on, like, I've always been curious about portals of entry. And even now as a priestess, like, so fascinated with death and darkness and goth, and really interested in going there. And it's fascinating. Polarities, right? Life, death, darkness, shadows, all of it. It's even non-duality, all of it.
And that's that fascination. That's that.
I never lose that.
Wonder, that quest for wisdom that is very characteristic of wise folk, of witches, absolutely.
Yeah. It makes life exciting too, the more educated. It's like, I love to be of service, especially. And I think when you pour into yourself, you can show up to serving others in a way that, like, is magical, right? Letting the magic touch you, but extending that to others.
Well, that's really it. Yeah. And we want to extend you guys an invitation as well. If you're liking what you're hearing so far, first of all, click that like button, subscribe, and check out some of our other videos. We touch on the occult and sensuality, sexuality, topics like that quite often. So we'd love to have you along for the journey. And also, if you tap below on the description, there's a link where you can sign up on our list to stay in touch. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up, you guys. We're launching a Tantric social media network very, very soon. We're launching our own physical, not digital newsletter called The Ritualist. If you want to study and practice some of this stuff hands-on. So if you want to be the first to hear it, get on the list so we can keep you informed.
Yeah. Really excited about it.
So, yeah, I mean, midwives were a big target. You're absolutely right. And maybe you were one in a past life because they controlled the portal between life and death.
Mm-hmm.
Much of the debate now about abortion is, only God controls the portal to life and death. God the Father, the masculine figure. Herbalists and healers were targeted because they were competing with the emerging, allopathic medical world of men.
Yeah.
Astrology became astronomy.
Yeah.
Right. Women who owned property were targeted when prior societies like Egypt, a lot of women owned property. A lot of the temples that were some of the wealthiest parts of Egypt were either under female management or female ownership. It was really when the Roman Empire invaded. There it is again, those Romans, right?
Yeah.
Onward Christian soldier,
religion and anything that seeks to
when control,
ritualize,
domination, and colonialism took over is when the goddess religions
dissolved, right?
Started dying out. The temples of Astarte were replaced with the temples of Jehovah.
Yeah. Yet we're rising.
Yes, we're
returning
rising
and remembering and knowing that there are select people that are remembering because they know they've chosen, right? They've chosen to come back into this timeline so that we can all rise together and step into what so many of these goddesses stood for. They stood for revolutionary ideas, and not even just ideas, embodiment. They were representative of divine feminine energy, dark, light, all of it. And they were oases. I can feel it in my bones, just like how the temples and just how nourishing they were, and how people came from all walks of life, especially a lot of men, to cleanse. I can think of the Vestal Virgins even, how they kept the flame alive for people in light of sacred sexuality and the heart of the towns. But yeah.
The old temples, Isis, Asherah, Ishtar, Inanna.
Yeah.
Right? The feminine divine as a symbol of wisdom and power. We know from archaeology that the goddess religions predate the earliest patriarchal religions by millennia.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit, by millennia.
Yeah. I agree. Isn't it wonderful? I find it so beautiful. I mean, it's fun to have bird's eye view, continue to have that expanded view of history. I feel like that's what is the edge of our conversations, is the more you know and you see all of it throughout time, you're like, wow, this is why this is happening. People didn't learn their lessons in this timeline, so now it's happening again. We're in the timeline of the Civil War, back in the day happening. It's
divide and conquer.
Yeah.
It works. Works every time.
Mm-hmm.
Rewriting history. Eve went from being the mother of all to the temptress, the sinner.
Oh, thank God. Seriously.
Right.
We were talking about that earlier too. It's
Asherah is barely even mentioned. Did you know God the Father had a wife? He wasn't alone. There was a God the Mother too. She got written out. Right along with Lilith, Adam's first wife.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning that live. Gosh, that's okay too. I love it. Yeah, thank God for Lilith.
Asherah,
Lilith
Ishtar. I mean, there's a similarity.
Yeah. Well, Lilith right now too, she's Black Moon Lilith actually is in the Scorpio right now. So she's just revealing the shadows for so many of us. In the best
Double
way.
trouble. Oh, okay.
It's necessary. So necessary. She makes me feel at home in myself.
Mary Magdalene demoted from apostle to prostitute, right? The only woman they wanted you to find acceptable was Mother Mary, the Virgin Mary, right? Because she's so pure and infallible. Virgin, by the way, didn't mean back then what it means now. It meant you were a devotee of a temple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Likely she worked in one of these.
For sure.
Or worshipped in one of these tantric temples of the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So yummy. It's like, even though it's like we're talking about what does it mean to be a witch and like how it's spanned through history, I'm like, attachment to labels, man, you get to a point where it's just like, you're just existing. You're like, oh, that's the freedom I feel like of remembering. Just the curiosity is just, oh, that's so interesting. Oh, that's so interesting. How interesting all these timelines are happening simultaneously at one time. And you're like, how interesting. Anyways, my brain.
Well, the original definition of shaman was actually one who walks between worlds.
Oh, that's how I feel every day. Every day. It's fun.
I used to think that just referred to like psychedelic plant medicines and them being able to cross between realities and bring back with them wisdoms. No, literally one who walks between worlds. They have an awareness of some of these parallel timelines, parallel realities.
Yeah.
And they're able to pull and weave threads from different ones.
Sure. It reminds me of that show we just finished watching.
The Discovery of Witches.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. It's like such an amazing show on Apple TV. Yeah, the thread of remembering, which is what happened for her. It was remembering her power, remembering her voice, remember that she could stand in her own authority despite opposition or challenge or men that didn't want to change and evolve. Yeah, powerful women we're sexy. We're a different breed. And it's like there's a quiet strength, a loud strength that's in the silence as well. It's alluring, it's seductive, makes you want more, makes you your heart open, your yoni wet, your lingam just erect in your heart. It's all good. Poetry.
That's where the reframe is needed, I think.
Yeah.
Because Sophia didn't fall. Sophia went on a heroic journey.
Oh, yeah.
Of discovery.
Yes. So fun.
Right.
I can be a hero, baby. Be your own hero.
Well, it's just this whole idea of wisdom seeking being demonized as some form of rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
If you had any kind of intuitive knowing, it was dismissed as irrational.
Mm-hmm.
And sexual sovereignty, like you mentioned, you can't have any of that. Like, you have to be committed and devoted to a husband, so the man knows that whoever's inheriting his land and wealth actually is related to him. So he's got to have control over your birth canal.
My God.
To ensure his own legacy.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
But you're right. We're seeing a revival now because a lot of these truths and like magic's kind of subtle sleeping power. It's in our DNA. It's waiting till we're ready, or it's waiting till the time is ready. But like, it's there. It's always been there.
Yes.
Beneath the surface. But now it feels like it's starting to stir and it's starting to awaken.
Sure. I think it's a kundalini, your life force, knowing
It's directly
that.
tied to our kundalini, but also the world's energy too. Here again, it's a symbiotic relationship. So as one stirs and awakens, it'll stimulate the other and vice versa.
Oh, yeah. As within, as without. Yeah. Yeah. We're all connected, the earth, everything. And I think right now more than ever, the most important thing we can do is attune ourselves to our inner voice, our own truth, like lean into what is alive for us and be real and be authentic and be seen in that. And, just, unravel, let yourself unravel, especially right now, because we're on this precipice of time where we're still in the 9th year of the snake. Not only that, but we're in Scorpio season. Scorpio is, revealing. Scorpio is going to the root of things, and especially wherever the planets in Scorpio, which are Mercury, Mars, Black Moon, Lilith, and the Sun right now, whatever house in your natal chart is when you were born. It's a soul's blueprint. And whatever house is being emphasized right now, you'll probably be feeling a lot of remembrance, awakening, needing to lean into that. And that's something you could definitely find out through a natal reading, which I do offer. You can just go to my Instagram at the Tantric Mystic _. But nonetheless, it's really, it's just really helpful to know how these certain transits are impacting us at any time. But yeah, there's an unveiling right now, and in a really spooky and edgy and sensual and wild way. It's a really great time to like reassess, because when next year comes around, we're going to be all rebirthing in some way, shape, or form. And like right now is huge with Uranus too, to like dream big, like claim those big visions and allow them to just get excited about them. We were doing that earlier too. And I found that really riveting to just, yes, this is something we envision. But to be a witch in this time, wouldn't you say? I mean, even my shirt, like I love our shirts that we're wearing today. In a world full of princesses, be a witch. Like, I love this shirt because it reminds me of even kind of what we're talking about today, of like the difference between a princess and a witch and what that means.
How would you characterize it?
Well, I feel like, speaking of the hero's journey, I feel like a princess, I mean, I think of one of my favorite princess movies called Princess Diaries. And the journey, actually, interestingly enough, the journey is of the main character remembering her royalty, remembering her beauty, remembering that she has status in the sense of like nobility. And I find that this very, very parallel to like the witch, for example, when you are reclaiming there's dignity, there's nobility in, I feel, when you acknowledge and define for yourself, what does it mean to be a witch? Because I think being a witch can be as simple as claiming the magic that is in your breath, right? There's a really wild, dark magician that I follow, and he's really, really beautiful in his magic. But he talks about like the beauty of the breath, like taking a deep breath in, and like really being in your breath is so potent in magic. And I think that's the beauty of like the hero's journey and reflecting on the princess, be in a world of princesses, be a witch. It's like, in the end, it's claiming the magic in yourself, the magic of you, the alchemy of you, the remembering your soul, remembering like seeing the beauty in yourself and owning it, right? Unapologetically. And for yourself, because when I think of compare it as well, like a lot of the Disney films, I think a lot of the Disney films portray women being rescued by men. And I feel like for me, being a witch is like going within yourself. It's like instead of waiting for something else to like come resuscitate your wild feminine, I feel like the invitation is go within yourself and lean into the the domesticated parts of yourself, and quite frankly, unfuck yourself open and allow yourself to be fully experienced. Like, you're not just the good girl. And I feel like the princess archetype is just, it's very maiden energy. And the mother, the divine mother energy is that like wild witchy woman. Wasn't there a song, the witchy woman, you know? So yeah, that's how I would describe it. It's the difference between the maiden and the mother. And we really need more, a revelation, a a revolution of women and men really just stepping into divine mother for ourselves, like the divine feminine. It's an important archetype. Long answer to the question, but yeah.
Well, my shirt says, I'm with the witch, and there's an arrow pointing this way. I am under her spell.
Yeah.
Indeed. There's a reason breath works really well, because it connects you to your body. Absolutely. And it also reminds you of the cyclical nature of nature.
Yeah.
Because remember, we talked about this connection, this symbiotic relationship. The cycles are what heighten our awareness of that relationship. So we have the lunar cycle, we have the female menstrual cycle, both are 28 days.
Yeah.
Right? It shows that we're literally in sync with nature. You can start to read your body and its hunches and its signals if you pay enough attention, almost as if it was a sacred text.
Ooh, like the sacred text of your own body.
Yeah, absolutely. As well as your environment, the world you find yourself within.
Spoken so beautifully, truly. It reminds me of how many times you've helped me see this with like seeing the body as like an instrument and like learning it as an instrument. You know, you need to know, you need to fine tune certain things.
That's it. What does music make you aware of? Rhythm and frequency.
Right.
It's a form of magic all its own. It's a way of decoding this universal language.
Yes. Yeah, we are a sight to behold. Like we are magic waiting to be discovered.
We really
from the
are.
inside out. I mean, the physical body, of course, it's so magical. I mean, I always say this, but when I met God, when I had my first conscious orgasm, I was like, yeah, you know, that instrument, that chord went, you know.
Isn't that interesting? You spent most of your life in church being taught not to have sex, and then one day you experienced an orgasm and you found God.
It was so good.
The church would be so pissed.
God, I went to a sex shop, got my vibrator in London, England, and then with rhinestones. I'll never forget it. It was pink. Yeah. Funny story. I actually had the box. I was on the tube and it fell out on the floor somehow. And I was just,
did it turn on and start buzzing?
No, but I went to use it right away. And that's when and then I was like, I don't even remember. I wish I could go back in time and just see that younger version of me talking to the sex shop employee, which, I don't know, sexuality. That's where it started for me in a sex shop in London. But yeah, and then I met God and I was like,
I worked in a sex shop once.
Oh.
In Hollywood. Not nearly as glamorous.
I know. Maybe I'll work at a sex shop in the future, just to like full circle moment.
And that was like the number one thing that would happen like several times a day.
Really? People just come in?
Some awkward girl walks in, looks at the wall of vibrators and dildos and like, which one would you recommend? I'm like, you know, having tried all of them personally, like,
are you being funny? That's funny. Oh man,
it's amazing how like often I got asked for advice. It's like, if we come over to this department over here, I can explain a few things, but like everything on that wall.
It'll be fun to work in a sex shop with you. Oh my God. Well, we have these. Yeah. So yeah, finding God in the body is fun. Finding God and whatever, God, universe.
Well, this is the interesting
everywhere.
thing.
It's everywhere. Like anywhere.
Salvation, you'd spoken to the Disney kind of stereotype.
Oh, yeah.
This whole idea of saving you, right?
Yeah.
Of saving your soul from sin or from hell. The original definition of salvation was entirely different, actually.
Really?
Salvation meant the sacred reunification of matter and energy.
Yes.
Just like the journey that Sophia took, right?
Yeah.
The reunion, the remarriage, the sacred union of matter and energy was known as salvation.
Yes.
To save you from the illusion that they are separate. That was the original definition.
Yes. That's juicy. Inner union is everything. I mean, that's, thank God, like I learned, I mean, love that. When you marry yourself and you remember who you are, you're like, I just want to like 9-inch nails, fuck you like an animal. Like that's what I did to myself. Like I got so in there and I was like, rrr. But yeah, yeah, I lost my train of thought. There was something I was going to say, but yeah, it's fun when you
I would too.
remember yourself. It's fun just to remember yourself. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. When I was in the church and I was like, what led me to like remember and like, oh, like I think triggers Sophia inside of me in a different way was when I started to read the bridegroom story about the bride and the bridegroom coming together and the Song of Solomon and how erotic that was. So beautiful, like poetry. It was like erotic poetry. But I remember thinking like, I am the bride. Like I just remember thinking like, I'm the bride. And I just felt this conviction of like the bridegroom, like, yes. And that's what led me to lead into that like awakening, remembering journey. I think she called, I mean, I didn't have a name to it, but I called it like the Holy Spirit or like the feminine, which was the holy, in my world, it was the Holy Spirit. But I was just like, yeah, like, you know, I am starting to embrace like that I'm the bride. And that's when I realize, and now I look back and I know it's the divine feminine. Like the bridegroom is, the bride is needing to awaken right now. We need people remembering the divine feminine in themselves, and not only divine feminine, but like the healthy divine feminine, and not only that, but like the divine mother and the dark goddess and the dark feminine, because it's all needed, you know, to integrate into being like a holistic, not even just holistic, but like embodied person, where you've faced your shadow, you know. Like I can say I you know, I live in both worlds. I can say I'm like, I could be the good girl one moment and I can channel Lilith the next. And it's just like, bam, it's right there. It's so fun.
I've met both.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. How to reclaim your power. What things folks can do if they're listening. Like, how do I start remembering? How do I make that inner voice, that intuitive punch a little louder, a little clearer, come into a little bit more focus?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question.
I think you touched on one early on in the show, and that's ritual. To adopt rituals, whether it's around your menstrual cycle, and honoring that time instead of viewing it as an inconvenience. Taking the time to do ritual during that time, bury your menstrual blood back in the earth, for example, which is a tradition of many indigenous peoples. Reconnecting with cycles, reconnecting with rituals. Paying attention to what phase the moon is in. You know, start new projects when she's growing, look to get rid of bad habits or clear up things from the past when she's shrinking. Little things like that already kind of bring you naturally into alignment, so you start to feel more of nature's frequencies.
Oh, yeah.
Simple things like that.
Yes.
Meditate before you check your phone in the morning. Just connect with the inner you first before the whole outer world.
I know.
Waiting to clamor for your attention.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, who are you without all that? What do you hear? Start there. Start your day there. And then, I'm not saying ignore your messages, but by the time you get back to them, it'll be a whole different you that's answering them.
I think people are afraid to see themselves or meet themselves. Oh, man. I can say, honestly, I've been there many times. Been afraid to see myself, my own reflection, right? But absolutely, like, I truly believe, you know, in the light of the cycle of life and death and every portal in between, like, give yourself the chance. And this is what I feel for myself. Like, I believe in giving myself the chance to see who I am and see how I grow and evolve and become. Like, I'm excited. I'm nervous sometimes. Like, you know, I wonder what I'll be in 10 years. Hopefully more, you know, even more debaucherous and more wildly, like, you know, who knows? But
that's a good place to be, though. That means you're doing something right. I've heard if you spend a day and something hasn't scared you or somebody hasn't disagreed with you or hated you, you're not playing hard enough.
Yeah.
You know, you're flinching. Like, there's, or another way I've heard it put is like, do one thing every day that scares you.
That's true. Yeah, to challenge your nervous system, like to kind of grow and expand your capacity to hold space.
And that's it. Reclaim the term. You know, reclaim the term witch.
For yourself, in what way it works for you.
Not as something scary or bad or evil or sinful, but as the clever folk, as the wise people who always have that insatiable curiosity to know and to connect more.
Just
right?
lean
Wear it
in.
like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
We are the descendants of the ones they couldn't burn.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'm grateful. I'm so grateful I'm in this time. I mean, it's hard sometimes. I mean, yeah, it's not always easy. I feel so much of what the collective's going through. Oh, it's a lot. And a lot of us are feeling that. Maybe we're taking on other people's energy that we need to shield better and like kind of go through some purification rituals. I get it, and that's why I think for us, even what we've talked about, like that's why, when you create a ritual for yourself, and not only for yourself, but when you're led through rituals or you're able to just drop in, right? Because life's busy, life's chaotic sometimes, right? There's so much out of our control. What we can have control over is how we show up for ourselves. And even if it's like 5 minutes, 5 minutes of dancing, writing, crying. I mean, even last night, like I was like 10, 15 minutes of just pure wailing and just frustration. There was just so much that needed to come up. And it was cathartic, right? But the body knows. And if anything, like the ritual of surrender, God, surrendering into the present moment, surrendering to like also take ownership of what you need and ask for it, right? And that could be like asking yourself, can you say no more, right? Can you give yourself permission to say no more when sometimes you might want to say yes or whatnot, but yeah, I just feel in this time where, yeah, like it's a shedding. It's a beautiful time of shedding, but it's also like stepping into like all of us are getting ready somewhere, somehow.
Well,
on
this is
some plane or level.
This is the other part of it, and I think this is the next step. Is once you get in touch with yourself, is reach out, find others of your kind.
Oh yeah,
because there's a reason throughout history witches have met in covens.
Oh my gosh.
There's power in groups of like-minded, similar energy people. So I would say that would be the next thing is like,
please do
reach out, find others of your own kind like you. Like this is part of the reason we're building TantricAwakening.net.
Oh my gosh.
Is to have a meeting hub where you can find people by area of interest, by
seriously.
location. The idea is not to have yet another thing to keep you glued in the screen, but to find people to connect with, hopefully, off the screen.
Right. I mean, this is a great point. We live in a digital age. But yeah, like, I mean, like, who are those people? I like, even like, we talked about that and like the ritualists, like the people that are yearning for ritual magic, sex magic. I know for me, like, I get so excited about those that are just remembering, maybe like, or in the religious space, and they're like, oh, I remembering that I'm a Templar Knight, or I'm remembering that, like, yeah, I want to go to the dark, like magic and sex magic. I want to go to a temple night where people are making love. Like, we are embodied living experience. I'm an embodied representation of that. And yeah, I want more people to join the train because it's exciting. I don't know, like some of the most alive moments I have felt have been in voyeurism or being watched or doing something with intention, right? Or through my sexual energy or through my dancing and my burlesque or whatever. It's like, yeah, I want more community.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe, because I know my astrology chart very well, right? I know about a big part of my mission is communal, erotic, transformative experiences and retreats. And that's what we're leaning into. And I'm like,
and that's what we do with Tantric Awakening.
Yeah. And the more we lean into it, it's like, yeah, like.
We have the virtual temple, but then we have the in-person temples.
Yeah.
You guys click the link in the description below. Get on our list because you don't want to miss out on some of the cool stuff that we have brewing in the cauldron.
In the cauldron of our something bigger. Wouldn't you say this is so much bigger than us?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. We feel, and I've been feeling this, like there's so many gay people that are just that community, and I know, especially like there's life can go like this sometimes, or like, whoa, like, some days, weeks, afternoons, mornings are just harder than others or whatnot. But like, yeah, there's just, my hope is like our authenticity, our realness, speaks to people. Like even as ritualists, there's moments when it's like, it's tough. We're traversing through the caverns of our own psyches, our own shadows, or what we're birthing as a union or individually. It's like, dang, but yeah, there's magic to be had, and we're inspired by the people that reach out to us and lean in and lay it all before, like authentically, yeah. And I imagine our tribe. I imagine these people that are perhaps listening, just like, they're wild like us. They're yearning for that too. And so please do reach out. And,
please do.
This witch, this high priestess, magical witch, like, please do lean in. We're wanting to lean more into the erotic witchcraft and all that, and like-minded souls.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited to meet you.
Please do reach out. You can find Kendall at the Tantric Mystic _ on Instagram.
Ooh, yes.
And you'll find me at Andre Night Awakening.
Yeah.
And then, the link is in the description below, or visit www.tantricawakening.net. Get on the list so you can receive an invitation when we open the doors to the virtual temple, when we start announcing some of these events, and certainly when we accept the first signups for the ritualist, if you want to plug directly into what we're doing every week. And, be sure to also hit that like button, subscribe to this channel if you want to catch more cool videos. And one of the coolest ways to connect with nature is to know what's happening in the sky or in the world around you. And this one, she's really good. I strongly encourage you to reach out to her and find out about getting a reading, because it's you go deeper than most astrologers, and you're really good at revealing hidden layers. And if you are curious perhaps about your past lives, for example, or maybe you've had fragments in dreams, you want to recall these memories clearer, regression hypnotherapy is one of the things that I do. It's one of my specialties.
You're so good at it.
You can not only visit parts of your childhood if you have traumas you're looking to heal, but you can travel further back in time. Things perhaps you don't remember even before your birth, and you can see what is waiting to be discovered in those realms.
Yes.
I've had quite a few people remember being priestesses in some of these temples of Isis and Ishtar.
Yep.
The memories coming back very clear. A lot of what we know, some of it's in history books, but a lot of it has been wiped clean, as we mentioned. A lot of what we know is what people have discovered through their dreams, through their memories.
Yes.
The kind of stuff that's starting to come through now, bubble up from under the surface. That's where we get a lot of this knowledge. It's direct.
Yeah, transmission.
It's not something written down, somebody else translated, somebody else interpreted the translation. Like, it's direct transmission that is starting to come through now. People are starting to remember, and it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's like, give yourself, I just say to even myself right now, just like giving yourself permission to excavate what's under the hood so that source can speak through you, right? And like your work in partnership with my work, it's like this, what do you call it? Cauldron, right? It's like, we are here to help you see yourself, or maybe the things that you have been unconscious about, and you get to be loved in those places and excavate that and that energy, right? And rebirth yourself and retell a new story, right? And free up that energy so you can have fun and play, right?
That's the other thing about magic. Magic is playful. Magic is whimsical.
It's so fun.
It's not meant to be all serious like some of these, ceremonial high magicians with their dark cloaks. I mean, I'm not going to yuck anybody else's yum, but like,
there's a time and place
so
for
serious.
Yeah.
For me, magic has always been playful and whimsical.
Oh my gosh,
a little musical, often spontaneous.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I just had this memory pop up, but like one of the most magical moments I ever had was being naked in a kiddie pool at a play temple in 𝗧𝗵𝗁, and it was like,
I remember that.
and just like being loved on by you and like all these other guys and gentlemen. And they're like massaging my feet. And I was just like, magic, right? It's like, yeah, it gets to be playful.
Mm-hmm. In a kiddie pool.
In a kiddie pool. You know, and magic, even like dancing for me is like, it's just, yeah.
Oh, dance has always been a part of ritual, and that's for a reason, because when you dance, you move energy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Not just your body.
Yeah.
The energy all around you.
Oh my gosh. It's all of it. It's all of it. Yeah. I feel like the excitement of like my inner child, but also like my older self. It's like all fun. The innocence. It's innocence, right? At the core of it. Playfulness. At the core of innocence is your ability to channel that innocence, that child and inner child in you. That's
innocence,
to be
but with that little streak of independence and rebellion.
Oh yeah.
To it. Like, I would say, if there's something they don't want you to know, if something's labeled as forbidden, like, go there. Go there. That's what you want to be studying. That's, you know, whatever they want to keep away from you, there's usually a good reason why they're afraid, why they want to keep it away from you. So that's the rebellious streak. Like, you go there. You go there,
and that's Lilith, especially Lilith and Scorpio. And here's the thing. And I'd be curious to know your thoughts on this. I feel like you get to a point, and this was like a big part of my journey, like where you start to lead yourself.
That's it.
And your intuition guides you. Or like those moments where maybe in the past you've questioned, was that me, or was that like, who inspired me to lean into this? My intuition has become so sharp to the point where like when something comes up, I like go after it. I don't question it anymore. I just trust that I'm meant to be studying this, reading this, exploring this right now in this time. But like, I don't know. I feel like that's the
if
journey.
Something crosses the path of your awareness, it's usually for a reason.
Right.
I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in synchronicities. Yeah. Very much so.
Right. And like I've been seeing angel numbers so much lately too. That's only just been, the receipt earlier. Right? Like little like winks from the universe. It's
little hints like that.
Oh, okay. And that's when life gets fun. Like you're just like, okay. I don't know, peace in the middle of storms sometimes, right?
Well, that's what magic is. That's what it really is that the thing that breaks up the monogamy, you know, that's why in Harry Potter they referred to non-magical people as muggles, and that word kind of has the connotation like to muggle, to stumble your way through life, because like without magic things are just very, very dull.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Make time for magic.
And perhaps
whatever that looks like.
And perhaps that's what they wanted, you know. Like what's coming up for me now is the old Pink Floyd song, Another Brick in the Wall, and like how that video was just these kids marching in unison, and all the colors are kind of drab and dark and gray, and you know. Yeah. Right.
Oh my gosh.
And by contrast, you have like this world of sparkle and color and sound.
Technicolor.
And like it brings you to life. That's just it. Magic awakens you from your slumber and it brings you to life. So,
yes.
You know, if you're wondering why we're talking about witchcraft on a show called Tantric Awakening, is because these things go hand in hand. It's literally magic is awakening you from your slumber to a much bigger, much more interesting world.
Yes. Yeah. It's a world that you can't even try to control, even if you wanted to. It just kind of I believe like the universe is the greatest teacher, and the universe knows how to put things into my awareness, intuition for me to trust and follow the lead. It's like, it's a beautiful relationship, but it's also internal too. Both and. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So reach out, you guys. Get in touch. www.tantricawakening.net. I'll put that address up one more time. tantricawakening.net. And if you're interested in what hypnotherapy can do for you, by the way, we have a 2-hour workshop that we recorded for free. You can listen to it for free. Just visit www.𝗧ဖိresession.com.
Yeah.
𝗧ဖိresession.com.
Love it.
And then, Instagram, here on YouTube. Lots of ways you can reach out to us, you guys.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of another episode, my dear.
Yeah, it's been really lovely.
Happy Samhain, happy All Hallows Eve.
Yes, and may this week, may the rest of the season just bring forth in you more magic and more awareness about who you are. And we're here for you. We're here for you. And we thank you for tuning in today on the Tantric Awakening.
Yeah, may the magic find you and fill you.
Yeah.
Till next time, you guys.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.